circle movement. How's that feel? Okay. Intense. Okay, good. Yeah, so I could, tightness in the quads, yeah. Yeah, I can rotate his leg medially if it's okay with his hip, and I can get the lateralis, the vastus lateralis quadricep. If I'm really in a hurry, I tend to do more compressions and more of this circular cross fiber work. And like right in here, I'm finding something kind of sticking out like braille. So I'll slow down and I'll balance right on, yeah, spot right there. So I try to really save the time for the real, the real crucial areas, the real stuck spots. Which this one feels pretty stuck. Yeah. Is it too much? Okay, good. Deep breaths.
You're just leaning straight down into it?
I'm in a bow stance, and I'm shifting off my back leg into my ulna.
Is this deep tissue that you're doing?
Yeah,
or just compression?
Basically a deep tissue compression, combining the deep tissue compression with the cross fiber, the circular cross fiber. So you can, and it takes a little practice, but you're palpating and you're massaging simultaneously. So I'm letting my pressure be moderate to light, but consistent. Because just like Braille, when you're trying to read Braille, which we all do all the time, you don't run your hand like skip it across the Braille. You hold it the same pressure, right? And you swipe it across. So you can feel each bump. So the same thing goes here. I keep my pressure consistent, lighter, because I can come across a real intense spot really fast. And I circle. I use my hips too. I'm not sitting here like this. I get in this whole body movement. And I can move up. I can kind of slide my elbow up a little bit and pick a new spot. And I find a new spot right now. So this way I found allows you can still get deep. You can still be very precise on key areas. You can still work the connective tissue free enough through the cross fiber, but you don't get bogged down quite as much like you would in deep tissue, where it may take you 10, 15 minutes to work this one part of this meridian. So if I find that someone's meridian and the muscles within it really need my full attention, then I'll do the slower work. I'll do the deep tissue work that doesn't use oil and that really connects and really waits for it to release, if I really feel that investment is going to be worth it. But if I have a lot to cover and I don't feel like the whole area needs as much attention, then I may do a little bit faster work like this. So scanning with the circular cross fiber, and then when I find a spot like something going on in here, and then pausing.
So I have a question. Before I learned Swedish and all that, so everything was done within like an hour massage. So with something like this, you're talking about the amount of time you spend in one area. Is it a longer session if you're doing myofascial release in general, or you just do one area?
It can be. And this is where, this work, the concepts can really be applied in different ways. So I'm showing you kind of some possibilities. I'm showing you where the lines are and then some tools and techniques that you can use on them. But it can be tailored to fit the time frames that you have to work within. So if you're working at a spa, it depends on the spa. If they're more into this relaxation Swedish style, then this may not fit into that. It may help you to understand the patterns you're feeling and tweak your Swedish massage a little bit, so you're focusing more on the lines a little bit more. But where I find to really use it a lot is in the structural type work. And some of my structural sessions will go 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. Not that they have to, but when I get some clients who we really have a good session for 3 hours. Sometimes if I go more than an hour and a half, 2 hours with some clients, I can tell it's time, it's enough. So there's a lot of options. It's a lot of options, and how you fit it into the time frame Part of it is what tool you pick to address the meridian. So if I was doing no oil deep tissue work, it would take me much longer to do a meridian from head to toe than it would with oil. I could oil them up and I could go, along the meridian, all the way up within less than 10 seconds. So I can still apply this work, like if I'm doing my Swedish style work, I can just focus on those meridians a little bit more with my strokes. And not really have to change too much, except for just a little bit more precision maybe, or a little bit more focus on certain areas. Does that help?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Now some key areas. The middle of muscles, like we learned in trigger point yesterday, the middle of muscles is where the trigger points usually are. So another time saver is to go right to the center. And I believe Rock has something right in the center and in there. And then also right below or right at the ASIT or AIIS, right down, actually I'll stand like this. I can do a compression right at the attachment site. I can also bend the leg and I can rotate the leg back and forth. I can cross fiber right at the attachment site. How's that feel? That's good. Yeah, so sports move.
Yeah, it's right at the AS.
Right here, right?
I think it's right here.
All right, so cross fibering at the attachment site. And the quadriceps have 4 heads, quadriceps. So I just want to make sure I understand where they all are. Rectus femoris is superficial. Vastus lateralis is lateral. It hooks underneath the IT band, goes around, hooks underneath to the back of the leg. The vastus medialis is on the medial side. It's hooking underneath your adductors and connecting to the back of the leg. And then deep to your rectus